The Speaker of the Economic Committee of West African State Parliamentarian, Honorable Sidie Tunis, has charged women to be proactive in taking leadership positions to achieve 30% affirmative action on women's representation. He gave the charge at the opening of a 2-day symposium on increased women's representation in politics held in Freetown, the Sierra Leone capital, on Friday. Tunis said the call for women to take lead in politics cannot be overemphasized, hence urging them to align themselves with political parties to make an impact. Sierra Leone is considered one of the leading countries in the ECOWAS region to have passed the Gender Equality Bill. The bill, which is passed in January 2023, has proven to the regional government the Sierra Leone determination to lift millions out of poverty through women's empowerment. However, these parliamentarians believe it is yet another milestone for female representation, bringing to this auspicious event organized by the ECOWAS Female Parliamentarian Association, ECOFEPA. The theme, a sensitization campaign on proportional representation of women in politics, scaling up political partnership between men and women. Speaking at the event, Speaker of the Parliament, Honorable Sidie Tunis, said the conference is apt as Sierra Leone's election draws near. First, remain resolute that the people's interests will be reflected to deal with age-long problems confronting the citizens.
The collective interest of the people we represent is paramount as we look up to Almighty God for wisdom and strength to provide solutions to age-long problems confronting our citizens. Leaders across every sphere have the moral obligation to share success formulas in politics and entrepreneurship with the next generation of decision makers. This further instills hope and confidence in the future. Fortunately, the ECOFEPA platform has given us a rare opportunity to directly interact with the citizens of the sub-region and transfer the subtle art of real-life politics and skills that cannot be acquired through the books. By participating in this campaign, delegates will have a chance to nurture the ideas derived from political practitioners. This will subsequently propel them to develop leadership insight, resilience, emotional intelligence, political competence, strength, and dexterity needed to navigate through various divides. I am therefore very hopeful that all participants will take advantage of this forum to develop new skills that will push them further. The ECOWAS Parliament believes strongly that scaling up political partnership between men and women in politics is a step in the right direction. Partnerships between the duo is a matter of equity and human rights, which are cornerstones of a democratic society. The equal presence of women in leadership and perspectives in decision-making is essential to ensure greater responsiveness to citizens' needs.
Parliament Bill, which His Excellency the President have passed, and which has given the enabling environment a platform for our women folks of this country to believe that no more women are to be in the kitchen, but to work side by side and to have better representation.
Earlier in her opening speech, the Women Caucus leader of Sierra Leone and a member of ECOFEPA, Honorable Veronica Sisse, laments the low representation of women in elected positions, hence appealing to regional governments to expedite actions over the full implementation of 30% women's representation.
We have played our own parts to ensure that we achieve the 30% affirmative action quota. Now, we wish for nothing but to ensure that our electoral bodies take full responsibility for their roles and take into cognizance the information embedded in the bill, especially this one that we are here for. The 30% female representation as they prepare for the upcoming general elections. Madam Chairperson, distinguished guests, we are here because the proportional representation which has been legally adopted by this year's general elections. Our intention is to emulate the example of one of the rare countries with 56% representation of women in governance, which is Rwanda. It is even hoped that we will exceed the Rwanda percentage, considering the enthusiasm of the sitting president, our able president, His Excellency Dr. Julius Maada Bio, and the government to have for gender issues, that he has for gender issues. The accomplishment of a 30% quota reserved for women in government and all levels of decision-making guarantees that women are going to be represented equally. To the various political parties and the electoral bodies, I plead that you kindly consider giving winnable seats, not only winnable seats, but positioning, because it is said that every 3 delegates, every 3 candidates on the list one should be a woman. Our concern is the positioning, so we are pleading for the position. We can either be first or first on the list.
Meanwhile, other guest speakers harped on the need to be gender sensitive, as it is the bedrock of a true democracy.
Gender equality is fundamental human right. The place reserved to women in society tells much about the level of democracy, development of the specific country, and all over the world, the adoption of measures for the improvement in gender equality translates itself in deepening of democracy and improvement in welfare and economic development. Women constitute over half of the population, and they may not and must not be left behind. Their active contribution to the society as a whole, in economy, in decision-making, and in all other fields, needs to be promoted and must be valued, as it is truly precious and indispensable.
My own British High Commission, we have now for the first time an entirely female senior leadership team, first time in history. A number of women ambassadors and high commissioners across the globe in the last decade. And right now, every single of our top and most difficult positions is occupied by a woman.
ECOFEPA is worried about the continuous marginalization of women in governmental positions, even as it hails Sierra Leone for the gender empowerment law passed ahead of its general election in June 2023. Vincent Okushi, QTV News, Abuja.